that.
All quiet on the left side. Oh, I'm feeling good today, Mikey. Yeah.
Attaboy.
Oh. Hello, welcome to LTM Reviews, where I get you caught up on the oldest movies. Welcome back to Ralph Bakshi Month. Now, in terms of today's movie, our next one, I wouldn't really consider it bad, kind of like Hey Good Looking, but this one is kind of bland, the best way to put it. I mean, I think Fire and Ice is the best way to... I guess Fire and Ice has a lot going for it, but then again, it's just kind of bland. So the story is another one of those fantasy movies like Wizards and Lord of the Rings, except actually in full rotoscope. I felt like, yeah, some of it was hand-drawn, but most of the time, some of it felt like it was rotoscope, so it reminded me of Pocahontas in some areas. But anyways, you're in a world where there's two kingdoms. One is fire, which means good, and I think ice means bad. I could be wrong. It gets pretty confusing. And you got this guy who falls in love with a girl, and they have to defeat the Ice King or Fire King. Oh, I don't know. That's these Ralph Bakshi plots are very confusing, but I'm doing the best I can, guys. So, what are my thoughts on Fire and Ice? Well, I guess it's not. I guess it has the same problems as Hey Good Looking. It has a great idea. It has a lot going for it, but it just doesn't understand how to fulfill its concept. It has a good, like I said, great ideas, a very great story too. It's about time we get back to the fantasy stuff, but I just think maybe hold on. I just hope maybe there would be some fulfill out of the characters. Much like Hey Good Looking, the characters aren't that interesting or very bland. I don't remember any of them except maybe the hero. I think the hero is probably the only good characters. The king and queen, I could care. The kings and queens, I could care less about. The writing is very weak. It reminded me a lot of Avatar and Pocahontas in some areas. The animation is actually fine. I actually prefer this animation over something like the one we're about to do next. But that's not saying a lot. The soundtrack, I will say, is pretty good. I forgot to also mention in my Hey Good Looking review that the soundtrack is pretty upbeat. It has a good tone to it. Kind of fits the tone. But Fire and Ice does the same thing. I know this is going to be a short review, but there's really not much to say about Fire and Ice. At least Hey Good Looking had a little more, had a lot going for it, even if some of it didn't work. But this one, I feel like this one didn't try. I mean, Ralph Bakshi's a great director, but I feel like he just went all over the place with this one. Not bad. Nothing will be as bad as the one we're about to do, the last, which is what I figured out. But yeah. So overall, if you like Lord of the Rings and Wizards from Ralph Bakshi, you're probably gonna like this, okay? But as for me, I give it a 5 out of 10. This is probably it's not the worst, it's just the weakest I've seen. I think we're now about to enter a time where Ralph Bakshi is starting to have a decline in his movies. Like, he has great ideas, but they're starting to be less entertaining. And Fire and Ice is going to be one of those movies, was one of those movies of its time, so at least it did pretty modest, I guess. And I heard Rodriguez wants to reboot it or something. Though, after watching the live-action Disney remakes, that's going to be a hard thing to indicate. So, overall, very mediocre. Not the worst, just very mediocre. Not Ralph Bakshi's best work. So, this is LTM signing out, and we'll be right back for the last movie.
Space toys? There's a space in my boot.